Here you go, friend.
Thanks. Cool costume.
Thanks. My mom made it for me.
I just wish you could all see the Earth the way that I see it. Because when you really look at it, it's just one world.
What's the S stand for?
It's not an S. In my world, it means hope.
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books. I love talking about them. I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the DC fan site that'll have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. We're continuing our run of Absolute Superman, number 6. This is written by Jason Aaron, but the art, we have a guest artist. It's Carmine oh my God, he's Italian. Giandomenico. And so if you don't know who he is, he did a ton of Amazing Spider-Mans with Dan Slott. So he's the guest artist for this issue. We're catching up, and we are current as of today's recording. So we're all caught up. So then hopefully now I'll get back to the normal stuff and just do Absolute Superman once a month. I've been doing trying to catch up. So I've been doing one every week. So now Absolute Superman is caught up, and like I said, we'll go back to just monthly. I love Absolute Superman. I know a lot of people say it's a miss for a lot of people, but I really like it. I'm a fan of Jason Aaron. I think it's really good. It's not as good as Absolute Batman. It really isn't, but it's still pretty good. So I don't know. I think it's pretty strong, and if people just allowed the story, it's a different universe. It's a different Superman, but he's still a caring, Kryptonian. I don't know. So this issue is takes place in the past for 99% of the issue, except for like the last 3 pages. So this is going to catch up Superman to when he arrives on Earth here. So we got this cover, and welcome to Smallville. You can see that it's a bunch of people in guns, and they're all aiming their shotguns at young Superman here. So the cover is by Rafa Sandoval, the normal cover artist, or the normal artist of this series, but like I said, he is taking an off issue. So all right, we've got some of the variants here, and the variant covers nowadays are really nothing more than just pinups. I really like this one. Reminds me of Bill Sienkiewicz, but it's by Rod Rice. And so 6 years ago, they were in deep space, and we got young Kal-El narrating this. When my family's rocket lifted off from Krypton, we had no idea where we were headed. The Science League, ever consumed with themselves, had never bothered to explore what else might be out there. And so now, it's been 8 days since Krypton exploded. My parents always said we would find our new way home together, and Sol is scanning for life-sustaining planets, but he doesn't find any. 8 weeks, 8 months, and you can see Kal-El is sort of going crazy. 17 months, and Kal-El says, oh my God, we've gone 9 million light years, and they haven't found any habitable worlds. And so Superman is like, just drop me off in front of this sun and let me end my life. But of course, when he finds the yellow sun, it charges him, the Kryptonian, his little Kryptonian cells, like it does in the regular. And so Sol keeps scanning because he's like, oh shit, I gotta save this kid. And he finds Earth. So down he goes. Beautiful panel. It's Man, comic books have really, really changed the way the art is done. For the better, for the worse, I guess it just depends here. And so we're in Kansas here. Lovely panel here. Damn, the weatherman said there'd be rain. Must be nice having a job where you get to be wrong more times than not. Get any drier? Whole damn field's liable to up and blow away. And so they're going through a drought, and I know what that's like because I live in Nebraska, and we get it's been pretty dry the last few years. So, all right, so they're farmers, so that hasn't changed, and they're in the wheat fields of Kansas. We've got Martha Kent and Jonathan Kent. It's kind of funny, the names. Martha is also Batman's mom's name, so old-fashioned names. And so they're kind of talking here. I'll just kind of move on because we're going to get to the point here. You know, they don't know what they're going to be able to do. They're going broke. Nothing's growing as well. Being a farmer today is very difficult, but suddenly you see the rocket. And Saul says, Kal-El, I regret to inform you that my energy cells have become quite depleted. I must power down for a brief, and then it says moment. Meanwhile, poor Superman is hurt here, or at least, you know, he's getting all these superpowers all at once, and he's speaking Kryptonian, and they're like, call 911, and Martha's like, he's just a boy, and Jonathan's like, a boy who fell out of the sky on fire. And Martha says, where did his ship go? It's like he absorbed it. And Jonathan's like, stay away from him. And Martha's like, we were standing here a minute ago asking for a miracle. And Jonathan's like, I asked for rain, not a dead boy. And Martha's like, he was covered in flames, but look at him, not even burned. What more evidence do you need? Don't you know an angel when you see one? And so they put him in bed, and things aren't going, you know, that very well, and still in here, and she's like, now you believe me, thinking he's an angel here. And of course his heat vision comes on, and so Jonathan's like, Martha, we can't keep him here. If we do, he's going to be the death of us. You know that, right? And Martha says, he's just confused, suffering, don't know what he's doing, the poor thing. He's been through something awful to get here, you can tell. And of course, Jonathan's like, what about us? What have we been through? We're going to lose this farm if we ain't out there getting something from those fields. And Martha says, John, I love you, but we've already lost it. You know that. Maybe, just maybe, we can still save him. And he says, and Jonathan says, who's going to save us from him if he opens them red eyes of his again? Maybe you see Gabriel blowing his horn when you look at this boy, but all I see is, and then he opens his eyes, Martha, get back. And suddenly you see this big crash. And so he's looking at the earth. I don't know if this needed to be a double page spread for it's kind of, but it's modern comic book storytelling. Really, it's just 5 panels broken up over 2 pages. People love their double page spreads nowadays. And when Brian Bendis does a ton of double page spreads, but it's actually normal. You just read it this way, but it's chock full of panels. He rarely, you know, does this with I don't know. I feel like it's a waste of story. Like, you could put in more story is so. And so 2 weeks have passed. He hasn't learned the language, but you're gonna see him pick it up soon. So tractor's not working. He's getting it here. They can't talk, but Jonathan thanks him for what he's done, even though, and Martha too, even though they can't speak. Anyway, he's looking and following the guy, but he doesn't really get it. And so he's speaking in Kryptonese here, and finally Soul comes through and apologizes. Says recharging took much longer than I anticipated. Cal, be warned. I fear this system's yellow sun may supercharge your Kryptonian cell in wildly unexpected ways. And Superman's like, you don't say. I should be able to help you process and control the solar energy. And so I've also managed to review all available history of this planet. It's called Earth. Its human civilization is quite young, barely a few thousand. And Superman says, never mind that for now. So I need you to download whatever language these people speak. Then shut up for a minute while I clear my mind. And so he does that. And he says, hello, my name is Kal-El. I fixed your tractor. And Jonathan's like, my God. And of course, and I do agree. I also like the coloring. It looks very watercolorish. I'm a big fan of that. Anyway, she says, Kal-El, such a lovely name. It's a pleasure to finally meet you, Kal-El. And so, but this little happy reunion is not going to last for long, because suddenly Lazarus shows up here. And they're like, crud. Oh, no, sorry. These things make rain. And I think it's Superman trying to help them. Sorry. So here it's saying it's rained for 3 straight days. And now here is going to come Lazarus. So they're looking for terror activity and report of an immigration violation, meaning an alien life form. So they're well aware of this. And now here comes Lazarus, and they're out to take Kal-El, and they grab him, and she's like, he's just a child. Of course, Jonathan grabs a shotgun, but these peacemakers are punch him really quick. I like this. Simmer down, pawpaw. And so they grab him. They're like, there's a little stronger than he looks. Cal, I cannot allow you to be taken by these men. And so they push him. He says, what are you doing? We do not belong here. Talk to them. Tell them about Krypton. And he's like, my mission is to protect you. And so Jonathan's like, please go. Like, get out of here. And so he cries and he leaves. So, and love this part here with Martha and Jonathan holding hands. That's beautiful. And so now we are in now, and you can see it looks pretty depressing, pretty dreary. And we're in the senior center here, and we're gonna see here someone and says, I'm looking for Martha Kent. She's a resident here. Yes, in our memory care unit. Lovely woman. A sad story. Why is that? Are we talking Alzheimer? I'm sorry. Who are you again? A relative? She says, no, but you might say I'm a friend of the family. So we got Lois Lane here trying to find out about her, and she's using her badge here. And so here we're going to get to the big reveal, what's going on. And so we're in the Nevada desert here, the Lazarus Corporation Research and Development Center. So R&D. And so Brainiac speaks and says, Agent Lane is quite the dogged investigator. She required barely any coaxing on my part, just a nudge, really. And so someone here says, then all the pieces are in place. And Brainiac says, oh yes, I believe they are. And so the person says, I must say, I have often doubted your methods, Brainiac, along with your very sanity. And kind of laugh here and says, you would not be the first. And the person continues, but deliver what you have promised me, and you ensure your place in the world that is coming. And so Brainiac says, of course, sir. I'm just happy to be a servant to the higher cause. And the person here says, so say we all. And of course, this is a Lazarus pit, and we all know who is in the Lazarus pit. So salvation is close at hand for billions upon billions. Once the Superman kneels at the feet of his holy father, Ra's al Ghul. So, for some reason, Jason Aaron decided to have a Batman villain going into. So that's what makes it a little weird, because, but it's also really cool, because you sort of get tired of the same old, like, would it have been that much of a shock had this been Lex Luthor or something, which is when I was looking at this, I kind of glanced at the story a little bit. I really thought it was going to be Lex Luthor, so it was a nice surprise. So I will say this, it was a nice surprise. It's just kind of weird because you don't see much of a connection between Superman and Ra's al Ghul, but it's kind of cool, like I said, to have that difference here. And so next issue, Into the Mind of Brainiac, and then of course we get our credits of Jason Aaron, Carmine di Giandomenico in the art. So, Last Dust of Krypton, the epilogue, Son of Smallville. So, all right, Absolute Superman number 6. We're all caught up now. Jason Aaron, Carmine di, oh my gosh, Giandomenico. Like and subscribe. I do thank you for listening. I hope you're enjoying this series. I really am. So, I know a lot of people don't like it, or maybe they haven't even read it and just hate it just because it's different. But I think it's kind of cool. So, thanks for listening.